Hi, my name is Dave Haslam and I'm one of the co-designers of Zombie Farkle, and today we're going to teach you how to play Zombie Farkle. So the objective of Zombie Farkle is to use ninjas, robots, pirates, monkeys, and aliens to defeat the zombie hordes and save humanity. The person who scores the most points wins. The way you score points in Zombie Farkle is by rolling sets of dice. Here you can see the scoring table for all the different types of sets of dice that score points. To play a turn, the player is first going to choose which faction they're going to use as their hero. After that, they're going to roll all the dice. Then they're going to check to see if they scored any points. If they've not scored any points, they roll a Farkle and their turn is over. Second, the player is going to check zombies. If they've rolled zombies and also rolled a hero, they can ignore the zombies they rolled. If, however, they rolled zombies and did not roll a hero, then they must pass the zombie dice to the next player and are not allowed to use them anymore this turn. Lastly, the player is going to score any points they have rolled and then determine if they're going to press their luck again or bank the points they have earned so far this turn. So we're going to go over a couple turns here as an example and show you how the game is played. So in this turn, the player is first going to pick the monkeys as their hero, and then they roll the dice. They check to see if they have scored any points. They did roll a hero, which is worth 100 points, so they did not get a Farkle. Next, the player checks the zombies they have rolled. They did roll 2 zombies, but since they also rolled a hero, they can ignore the zombies that were rolled. Finally, the player is going to move any scoring dice they have rolled to the scoring dice section. In this example, the only scoring dice they have is the 1 hero. This is worth 100 points. The player can now keep these points or choose to re-roll their active dice again. The player decides to roll the active dice. This time they've rolled a couple of pairs of dice and a zombie. Since they've rolled a couple of pairs, they did not get a Farkle. However, they did roll a zombie and not roll a hero, so they must lose the zombie die that they rolled. Because the player did not roll a hero, they pass the zombie die to the next player. They cannot use this die anymore for this turn. The player then banks the points they have rolled. Their new total score is 300 points. The player can now choose to bank these points or press their luck. Since all the dice they have available are now scoring dice, they can choose to reroll all 5 dice if they choose to continue. The player chooses to press their luck and they roll the 5 dice. This time they again failed to roll a hero, but they did roll a pair of robots, so they did not get a Farkle. Since the player did not roll a hero, they are now not protected from the zombie dice that they rolled. The player passes all of the zombie dice they rolled to the next player. Remember, they cannot use these dice again this turn. Now the player moves the pair of robots they rolled to the scoring pile. They are worth 100 points. The player now has a total of 400 points they have earned this turn. The player will then choose whether or not to press their luck and re-roll their active dice or keep the 400 points they've earned. The player decides to keep the 400 points and they pass the rest of their dice on to the next player. It is now the next player's turn. They choose aliens as their hero and roll the dice. Since they rolled a pair of heroes, they did not get a Farkle. The player did roll a zombie, but since they rolled some heroes, they can ignore the zombie that was rolled. The player then moves the pair of heroes to the scoring area. The pair of heroes is worth 200 points. Now the player decides whether to keep the 200 points or to re-roll their active dice. The player decides to re-roll the active dice. The player re-rolls to check to see if they rolled any points and dice that can score points. In this case, the player did not score any points, so they have gotten a Farkle. Since the player rolled a Farkle, they lose the 200 points that they had earned this turn. It is now the next player's turn. So the player is going to continue in this way until at the end of a turn, one player has 5,000 or more points. Then the game is over. Each other player gets one more turn, and after that, after each player's had that one more turn, then the player with the highest score wins. So that is Zombie Farkle. It's a ton of fun. It's super easy to play with kids and adults, and it's a good, fun time for everybody. We hope we can count on you for support in our Kickstarter campaign, and thank you for watching our video.